Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Metric Exist podcast with Dani Margot. I have an amazing guest here. Her name is Shelby St. Clair. She is a business and systems coach who has built a multi six-figure personal brand by doing the one thing that the online business world told her not to do: slow down. After leaving a cult, rebuilding after divorce, losing her second husband while 6 months pregnant, and now homeschooling two kids married to her best friend, Shelby knows firsthand that business success is inseparable from life you're living and the beliefs you're carrying. She helps female founders stop overcomplicating, start trusting themselves, and build simple business systems with strategy and soul so they can scale to six figures while actually enjoying their lives. Shelby is the friend who tells you the truth, the strategist who gives you the plan, and the proof that freedom is a business model. Oh my gosh, welcome.
Ah, I'm so excited to be here.
The first question I want to ask is, like, what's your story? How did you get to where you are now? Just a quick background for anyone listening. Shelby is in the South Bay area. And when I first came to the space, we had this like little Facebook group, and she was just this like force. I could feel her energy, entrepreneurship. And now that I'm moving into pregnancy and kids, you're actually been really inspirational about telling your story about working 12 hours a week and like homeschooling your kids, which is something I've been thinking about, all the options. So yes, I'd just love to hear your story.
Yeah, it's so crazy to think back. I was just actually talking to some women in my mastermind this morning. Every day I kind of go in there and I just riff on what's top of mind. And I was thinking about the version of myself years prior that really cultivated and created the version of who I am today. And I think so often as entrepreneurs, we're so focused on the future of where we're getting where we're at, not at yet. And then we're focused on the past, what is tending to hold us back. And we're not allowing ourselves to really recognize who we are today, the woman that's standing here today doing the building. And so while all of my past created this version of me, it was truly through the choice of allowing myself to become that higher version of myself that I would connect to in meditation, right? When I get the downloads of, wow, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's where I'm supposed to be going. But every situation that I experienced, every challenge that I faced had to happen to bring me into existence of who I am today. So being raised in the cult religion and seeing how systemic programming and religious programming can really dull your soul as far as allowing you to connect truly to your authentic self and what it is that you desire to do and who you desire to be. And so I had to go through that to then be able to understand how the programming and the systemic programming works on us in the human form and what it then creates in the mind, right? And then once I left that and I was seeking and longing for love and ending in a relationship that was abusive, I had to go through that to experience and witness me regaining my own power, my own confidence, becoming courageous in myself to stand up to somebody and say, no, I'm choosing myself and I'm walking away from this. And then going from that relationship into the beautiful relationship I had with my first daughter's dad and us just having such a beautiful love story. Like he taught me what love really is and how to be love and how to receive love. And I wouldn't have known that and then been able to give that to my children, my now husband, and my clients if I hadn't had experienced that great loss through the witnessing of such great love. And so all of those big moments really created and formulated who I am today. Now, entrepreneurship on the side of that got clocked in after college. I went to FITM for fashion design and
Oh my
visual
gosh,
communication.
amazing. In LA.
Yeah, loved it. It was so fun. The crazy thing is, I never actually graduated because I didn't finish the last semester of school because I was like, I just want to go. I just want to do things. And so I didn't even finish that last semester and I launched my business being an online clothing boutique that I ran for 3 years. And I learned all the ins and outs of what it actually meant to run a clothing line. And I was hosting pop-up shops and doing runway shows and I was styling for videos and
That's so
magazines.
cool.
was so much fun, and I learned everything. Like, I learned how to do Photoshop because I created a photo studio in my home where I took all the product photos, and I'd hire models to come to my house. Like, there was so much fun about it, and just that curiosity of winging it and saying, "I'm going to figure it out." Google, YouTube became my best friend. I don't even know if the coaching world existed then. I'm sure there were coaches that were helping in aspects of what I do today, but I didn't know about them. So I quite literally was just trial and error, throw spaghetti at the wall, see what happens. But after 3 years of doing that, having success, I had no idea how I was getting out of the country sales online. You asked me today how I did it. I don't know. I was just showing up. I was just believing in the power of what the brand was and what I was doing. But I realized that the industry itself wasn't something that matched my energy. I loved it, but there was so much darkness in the fashion world and just around who I had to serve and what I had to do to then create the success that I was having, that I chose to walk away from it. And then I was like, well, what can I do next? Right? I'm a manifesting generator. So my mind is always like, what else can I do?
Same.
Like, give me more. And so from there, I went into events. And because I had been doing vendor events with my clothing line for 3 years, I was like, that's really cool. And there's nothing like that local here in my area. At this time, I was living in the Inland Empire. I was like, let me go ahead and just build out this and launch this. And so I started hosting vendor events, supporting local small businesses, helping them get seen, found, discovered in the local area. And that was fun because it taught me that you can create a business out of anything, that you don't have to have any specific idea or expertise. It's like you have something that you enjoy, you can create a business out of it. And if you believe in it enough, you can be successful with it. And my
I
mind was like,
love that.
oh, this is
Yeah.
so cool. Business is so awesome. I love entrepreneurship. And at one of those events, I met this couple that were into direct sales, and they were selling a product that I thought was really incredible, and I could see how it was really beneficial for homes, for families. And so I had them come into my home and give me a demonstration. It was called a rainbow, and it was like a whole home cleaning system. It was a vacuum, it was a mop, it was an air purifier, literally the most incredible product I've ever seen on the face of the planet. I still die hard for that product. But I was like, this is really cool. I could totally do this. And so joined that business. And for 3 years, I built that business to a team of 20. I became a top seller in the company. I
Wow.
was traveling, speaking, and teaching on the stages at the conferences. And that's where I then learned the skill of selling, which led me to then where I am today, because that business ultimately gave me that confidence and that courage that I was talking about to leave that first marriage, because there was so much personal development wrapped up in that. So I built 3 businesses over the course of 5 years while being in an abusive, extremely toxic marriage, all on the pursuit of finding and discovering myself and
Mm.
what I wanted and who I wanted to be. And so when I finally had that courage and that confidence to leave, I had to make a choice because he was fighting for absolutely everything, obviously. It was like, nope, we're selling the house. And you know what? Fine. You can keep this fully built business that's generating multi six figures. You can go ahead and you can keep it and you can continue building and running it. I'm going to go start something new. And that was scary. That was scary to call my parents on the car ride home. I'm getting a divorce. I'm coming back home. Get a room ready for me. I have all 5 of my fur babies in the car, a suitcase. No idea what's going to happen next, but full faith and trust that I was divinely supported and guided onto the next journey. And that's what led me into the coaching space that I've been in now for 9 years.
I love that so much. Okay, before we jump into the coaching space, I'm curious, what is your personal number? Are you a master number?
Wait, personal number for what? Manny Jen? Wait,
No,
what?
for life. Like, we all have personal numbers.
Oh, like a life path number.
Life path, yeah, that's the
Okay. I'm
number.
like, hold on, what's a personal number? What do I not know about? What do I have to go learn about? I'm an 11.
So, yes, you are a master number. I knew it. I love it. Okay, I'm curious, like, that I really truly believe, like, a lot of these, successful, intuitive, sacred, powerful, sovereign women have 2 things. It's faith and trust, and devotion. I think devotion's a big one too. And I'm just curious, in these moments, did you already know you were intuitive? Or was this kind of part of the journey of like figuring that out? And what gave you that courage to like leave and keep starting and keep like persevering beyond, everything that was safe?
Yeah, I think that there was always a knowing within me that there was a deeper connection, but growing up in the religion that I grew up in, that was completely blocked off. I had a imaginary friend, which I'm sure was a spirit friend growing up, and at some point, I just woke up one day and I like killed her off. I literally told my entire family, "Oh, she started smoking cigarettes, she got cancer, and she died." And from that moment on, I could feel that connection and that curiosity of like what is on the other side dimming.
Oh.
And so I think just all of that programming, the conversations in the religion, there was so much talk about demonic spirits and, oh, if you do this, then you're going to get demonized and something's going to take over your body. And, oh, don't meditate, don't do yoga, even. That was seen as a demonic practice. And once I got out of that, I realized, okay, the reason that the cult that I was in, the religion, did all of that because there's actually so much great power when you do connect to yourself. So, of course, they block off and make you believe that doing that is going to open you up to other realms of darkness that you don't want to be involved in. Because, my God, what happens when you connect to true source energy? When you actually know yourself. And so there was that knowing as a young child. And then it all got very, very blocked off. And I think in that direct sales business, as I was doing so much personal development, I was starting the journaling practice, I was connecting to myself. I think that's what opened my world up again. And then definitely it was after the divorce when I started really integrating a spiritual practice that I was like, wow, there is so much here. I am very in tune, very connected. All of those gut feelings, all of those thoughts that would come in and I would outright them because it's just too crazy to be real. No, it was all real. It was all coming to me for a reason, for a purpose. So it definitely was that process of connecting, knowing, getting blocked off, shut off, and then going through the experience of opening myself up again. And I think the reason that I just kept going and having faith was because I've always felt like it's gotta get better.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. We come from nothing, and we're just placed here, and we're just supposed to struggle? I don't believe that. There's so much more out there.
Yeah, I love so much your story because you share not only what happened, which from an outside perspective can be perceived as quite traumatic, and a lot of it all at once, which I have noticed with a lot of master numbers is like are meant to overcome, to be like the leaders and the way showers. And this sense of like the lessons that you've learned, like that's your current perspective. And I've noticed a lot of sovereign way showers and light workers, they are the ones who've done the reflection and understood that the trauma was a soul contract that has led them to understand more of themselves and heal and do the reflection so that on the other side, it's a lesson that's empowered them, which isn't always easy, especially someone who like yourself has lost some great love. Like I can't even imagine, that for myself. And so just celebrating you and witnessing you is so beautiful. And so I'm curious, when you did leave the divorce and you were with at your parents' house, what sparked this curiosity for business and like female empowerment?
Yeah, it was just knowing, okay, I have now been in business from that time. It was 5 years that I had been building and scaling businesses. And I was like, there's more. I'm not meant to go into the workforce. I'm not meant to be told what to do. And so it was just constant daily practice of being in connection with myself, that journaling, that meditating, beginning to, and my parents were so freaked out when I brought like tarot cards into the house and like, oh my God. You're gonna possess us. What's happening? I'm like, no, like I'm being called to just connect and find the answers in the path that I'm meant to be on. And one day I was scrolling on Instagram and I came across Amanda Bucci, and she was like a fitness girly turned business coach. And that's when I was like, hold on, there's such things as business coaches? Like, are you kidding me? If I had one of those, like, I can't even imagine where my businesses could have been, even though they each had their own versions of success. Like, I could have probably like hop, skipped, and jumped my way into more of what I wanted in a shorter
Absolutely.
timeline.
Yeah.
And so I just started peeking into that and seeing this world of coaches and who's all out here. And my mind was cracked wide open. And that this light bulb went on. It was like, Shelby, you could do this. You figured out how to build and scale businesses just on your own with absolutely no actual knowledge of what you were doing. You could 100% come in and support women in this way. And so it was from January of 2017 when I moved back in to my parents' home, and I launched my coaching business in December of 2017. So I had a good stretch of just self-discovery, really leaning in, seeing what this world was all about, how could I do it? And when I launched, I was just like, here I am. I'm going to just help women start and grow their business. And that was the goal that then really has evolved massively over the last 9 years.
That's so beautiful, and there's so much, like, I know you got, like, a little studio at one point at the mall, right? And you were doing like, bringing community together, and that's something that is so inspiring, just, like, the aspect of, like, bringing women together and celebrating the little things of who they are, and so I'm curious, like, what's maybe the top 2 things you've seen, I guess, block or stop a woman into becoming like that sovereign being with a successful business and the 6 figures and all the things.
Yeah, that's what I realized pretty quickly off the bat once I stepped into coaching and I started attracting clients was that we would start the build out and it would really ask them to step into the next level version of themselves. And what happens when we start going into a new level, we're hit with a lot of life, right? Life starts happening around us. Oh, my attention's pulled over here. Oh, I got to deal with this. Oh, I'm feeling a certain way. And all of this resistance and all of these fears start coming up. And it then pulls them away from the very desirement and dream that they set out to build and create in the first place. And so that was the first thing that I started noticing quite immediately when I started coaching women is that because we innately have this fixer energy, right? The mother, the nurture. We need to come in and make sure that everything else is fine. We so easily disregard our own dreams, our own wants, our own desires. We as women put ourselves on the back burner to be the best for everyone else, even if that means that we're sacrificing ourselves. And so that's the one big thing that I still continuously, 9 years of doing this now, still see women coming up against. And then that's like hurdle number one, right? Hurdle number one is that. And then the second that women face is then being visible as their true, fullest, most authentic, powerful selves. Because while we are so used to taking care of everybody else and we put ourselves in the back burner, when you're stepping into running your business and you're saying, I want to scale my brand to X amount of dollars, your subconscious mind really comes in to run the show, right? It's already running 96% of the action that we do or we don't take. But when you then set a goal and are on a mission to take your business to a new height, your subconscious mind comes in and it sends you feedback of all of the things as to why something won't happen for you. And something that I really strive to help my clients see is what evidence are you actually intaking? Because that is what the mind is going to receive, right? So if you're allowing that little, I like to call it a little bitchy gremlin that comes in, if you're allowing that little bitchy gremlin to come in and say, like, who are you to put yourself on camera and start talking about your work and getting excited about it, who are you to show up like, oh, you're going to look like such a fool. People are going to think you're cringy. Nobody's going to support you. What evidence are you actually placing in front of you? Are you looking at the successful women that you do see online doing this, and you're looking at them and comparing yourself from the aspect of, I could never do that. That's impossible for me. They just have it easier. What are those thoughts, right? Because if the evidence that we're giving our mind is that they can do it, but I can't, it's going to feed you more of that. So we have to do this rewiring in the process of as we're scaling the business to look at these successful women and other people who have what we want. And instead of viewing it from the standpoint of I could never, we're looking at it from, well, if they could, that means I can. Like,
Yes.
look what they're doing. That means I could do it. And so that's really like the two biggest things that I see women facing. It's one, the life aspect taking over. And then two, not having the proper mindset that's going to actually create the success that you desire.
I love that so much because it feels like you have your own, like, really deep connection to the unseen world, and you're helping people meet them at this, like, very grounded space. And maybe there's spiritual aspects to the business as well, but you're obviously coaching them probably from a spiritual space, but the mental part is such a big factor, and it's so wild because when you say that, I remember, like, myself even in this process, when Yeshua came to me and was like, "You need to start teaching the Akashic Records," and I was like, I opened the Akashic Records 3 years ago. Like, who am I? I'm like a nobody. Like, and then he showed me, like, you've actually been teaching this for lifetimes on different planets and you're an Akashic historian. And I was like, what? And so it's like when you actually like move through the fear, right? And then allow yourself to, like, do the thing that's so scary. So for me, it was, like, teach other people the Akashic Records. Like, if it's so divinely guided, it will happen? And
Mhm.
I got 33 people in last year for my first year, and so it's just a testament to, like, that faith and devotion and trust that, like, any little inkling that comes to you, it's possible, but like you said, it's like you have to choose you, and it's in this world, it can feel so hard or challenging, and we're not taught that. And we're
Mhm.
taught to, like, give, and the more you give, the more, like, valuable you are. And so to actually, like, fill your cup first, I know everyone knows this metaphor, like, fill your cup first and then the world, you could fill everyone else's, but, like, that's actually like, most of the messages that I receive, like, literally nourish yourself, give yourself time, do the reflection, and then actually the world around you just shifts in, like, a really beautiful way.
Yeah, totally. I love that you said that because it's so true. Like, there's so much of us just trying to walk the human form. Like, we're told that this is the perfect way. You do this, then you do this, then you do this, and oh, you'll be living the American dream. But a lot of times when we're so stuck in the logic, the human side, we're forgetting that we are quite literally a spiritual being just living and having a human experience. And so if we start to just tap into that emotional, that spiritual, that soul side, and really start to recognize what it is that we desire to have and create and why those desires landed on our hearts in the first place. Because I don't think anything lands on the heart for no reason. Like, there's a very specific reason that you are having the idea to build or create something. And it's up to you to decide if you're going to give yourself the chance or the opportunity to follow through on it. I think that so many people are so risk adverse. Like, we're so afraid of building and creating something and like failing in amongst the worldview. And failure, I don't even think that it really is us failing. It's quite literally the gift of lessons that we get to walk through life with that is not only going to support us in the here and now, but like the legacy that we leave behind, our generations past, the soul version of ourselves that then goes on to do whatever in the next lifetime. Like, there's so much point and purpose to it, but we just get so conformed into a box that we are trying to fit into rather than living and being and loving. Like, I love to fail in public. Let me fail 100 times. Let me fall flat on my face and watch me build it back up. And that gets to be such a beautiful experience, not only for yourself, but for others to watch as well.
I love that so much. A couple things. First, they're wanting me to share this, that I love that everything you're sharing with your clients is, like, the evidence that their mind has brought to their attention, like, bring awareness to what evidence that you're feeding it in order to really build that trust muscle to believe what's possible for you. And I just read this book called Three Magic Words by U.S. Anderson, and he really talks about two things: that creating a business is the biggest way to help support the earth and like the new earth. Creating a business, creation and like business and the intuitiveness of it is like top thing your soul wants, which is so beautiful. And then the second thing is like when you follow your dreams, you create this potency within your energy where you're actually uplifting everyone else. So when you are like, trying to anchor in more love or more compassion or forgiveness, you actually share that with the world without you realizing it. Which, or if
Mhm.
energy, it's like you are realizing it. But like when you do something, you bring everyone up with you. And so like how it potent and pivotal is it? Like you must follow your dreams now. Like it's not just about you; it's about the world. Like don't you want the world to be a better place? And so, just for anyone who's listening, now you have like several points of like why you need to start that business.
Yes.
So I'm curious, I know you're posting on Instagram right now about this like 100 days, 100 tickets, and you're just sharing vulnerably, which I love because I feel like I'm kind of doing something similar with like my pregnancy. But like, yeah, share a little bit of like what you're doing and like your intention behind it.
Yeah. So going on 4 years ago, actually, I launched a part of my coaching business, but I umbrellaed it under my coaching as Brunch with Babes. And it was in person network community where we're creating connection, having conversations, and cultivating community through women in business. I hosted monthly events doing that for 3 years. That expanded into 6 chapters across the states and
Wow.
served thousands and thousands of women over the course of 3 years. It was beautiful. I loved every piece and part of it. Last year, though, it came to a point where I realized and recognized, okay, doing monthly events in this way is not serving the highest level goal of what I'm here to cultivate and create for women in business. And it's not giving me the full freedom that I want to be able to be super present with my kids. Because when you're hosting events every single month, the day that an event happens and it ends, you're like, okay, time to build the next one. I got to sell tickets for the next 30 days until the next event. And sometimes, depending on the month, event dates were like 3 weeks apart. And so you're just constantly in this go, go, go factor. And it served a time and it cultivated and created an essence in women here in the South Bay and in all of the 6 chapters around that we don't have to compete to succeed. And that was the ultimate primary goal of that community and of that space. And so it served its purpose. And it was time for me to come back and to just fully focus on helping women scale their business. But what didn't shift after closing down all the 6 chapters is that the intention was still there to bring women together. It just wasn't meant to happen on a monthly basis. And so Soul and everything within me was like, okay, it's time to activate that annual event that you want to host. And so last year when I got the download, I literally pushed it off for 3 months. I'm like, I'm not ready for that. I can't do that. And then a month before the event, it was like nonstop. Like, you have to do this. Like, one, you've been talking about it. Like, you can't, there was that aspect of level of you can't let people down. You've been talking about that you're wanting to do this for so long, but there was also the deep soul desire. Beyond what I'm doing right now, I see like thousands of people in a massive space, transformational event. But what has to happen to get there? These smaller versions, right? So last year I hosted the first one. I threw it together in under 30 days. Absolutely insane. Full speaker lineup, panels, the whole shebang. 56 women got into the room. And
Wow,
it was the most
amazing.
transformational day. It was so beautiful. Mind, body, soul, business. We were meditating. We were crying, breath work, all the things. Like, so incredible. And women left that event completely changed and transformed, connecting to a part of themselves that they didn't even know was buried within them. And so this year, obviously I had last year to show myself, girl, you cannot and do not want to do this in under 30 days. Like, give yourself the proper plan. Like, you help your clients do, like, what are you doing? I'm like, yeah, girl, I know. We don't need to do that. So the prep has been happening for months, right? But now we're in the sellout phase. And so I gave myself 83 days to sell out the event and pack that room with 100 women. I know that over 100 women are going to land in the room because this is such a beautiful event, but it's really cultivating a space of bringing women together to recognize and see their fullest power. And it's called SheEO Unhinged Live. And people are like, why the name? What is this? It's like SheEO is the version of ourselves. We think of CEO as like this perfected title that's placed on you, right? Oh, you're the CEO of the company. No, a CEO is taking control back from societal norms. And
I
she's
love
saying,
that.
I get the permission to do things my way. I'm going
Yes.
to show up. I'm going to be my full self. I'm going to build in a way that feels good and authentic to me, not in a way that somebody else says that I have to. And the unhinged part is fully allowing yourself to just speak. Speak into existence. Allow the dreams to go. Like, be unhinged and delusional in the aspect that anything I want, I can speak into existence. And so here we are. And this is I think we're on day 78 now. And like, we are just loving it. I'm sharing every day about the ins and the outs of what I'm doing, what I'm building. The speakers are just about all fine tuned, and that announcement is coming out within the next week. Some beautiful, beautiful speakers. And like, I'm creating brand experiences where people are going to come in and they're going to get to feel this part of themselves that they've never felt before, but also leave the event with an entire simple business system laid out so that they can see for themselves how they can actually live more, work less, and make more money that actually supports their life, their movement, and creates the impact that they desire.
That's so beautiful. Where are you hosting it out here?
At Shade Hotel in Redondo Beach.
Oh, yes, I love that place. It's so pretty.
So gorgeous, so gorgeous. I just put in an email to get shared out in a couple days about the whole process of getting that
Yeah.
location because it's so deeply connected and rooted in me. My husband and I, the one who passed away, we got married at the Manhattan Beach location, and so Shade Hotels always held a special piece in my heart.
Wow.
And so when I got the download to reach out to Shade, I battled that human side of like, girl, what are you talking about? You're going to host it at that most beautiful, gorgeous boutique hotel? Like, you're not ready for that level. What if nobody buys tickets? What if you're on the hook for thousands of dollars renting this venue and nobody shows up? And I had to battle that part of myself. But when they responded back to me, and one of the girls who emailed, she actually helped plan our wedding and was the event coordinator. And she had left the company, and she just came back and started working for them a year ago. And she was like, I cannot believe that I just got this email from you. I still talk about you and your wedding. It was by far my absolute
Oh my
favorite. You
gosh.
can host the event here. You can have whatever you want. When do you want to come in? Let's talk. And it was like that moment when that came through, it was like full blown tears. I'm like, oh my God. Everything, like, that's the magic, right? That's the magic of like everything is always working out for us if we push past the fear, the excuses, the what ifs, and we just follow the intuitive call. Like, literal magic is happening right in front of us. We just don't let ourselves see it, which is so wild to me.
I love that so much. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be a reel. Like, mic drop right there. It's always working out. It was so divinely guided. You felt called to it. You did it. You emailed them. Synchronistically, the coordinator from your freaking wedding that was tied so energetically emailed you, and now you're there, and you're gonna
Yeah.
host more than 100 women at this beautiful space. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that so much. Okay, so according to your bio, you mentioned about in the business world, slowing down is not what's actually going to get you, or hustling isn't what's going to get
Mhm.
you like that soul fulfillment and successful business. You say it's slowing down. So I'm curious how you were able to, or any advice for anyone listening. How are you able to really create that life of your dreams of working 12 hours a week, being able to homeschool your kids, and like, I guess, what decisions did your heart make, or did you make,
Mhm.
or how did you move through that to like land here now?
Yeah. So there was a time my daughter was about a year old and my business had really taken a dip. Obviously, right after my husband passed, I'm in this massive grief cycle. Like, how am I going to do this? How am I supposed to raise her alone? This isn't what it's meant to be, right? Again, human experience, all the feels, all the real stuff happening in front of me. And I found myself sitting in the grocery store parking lot when she was a year old and looking at my bank account and seeing there was $14.22 in there and asking myself, okay, I either have to go into this grocery store and get something for us to eat, or I need to put a few dollars in my gas tank to be able to do what I need to do this week. That moment changed everything for me. I drew the line in the sand and I was like, at this point in time, I am in the midst of grief. I'm raising my daughter on my own. I was working 60 plus hours a week, just trying to make the money come in, and it clearly wasn't working. So something had to change. And that was the first spark for me. And so I really started to get clear at that point of what is it that I really want to do? How do I really want to build this business out? Who is it that I really want to support? What is it that I want to help them do in their own life, right? What is the problem that I'm actually here to solve? Let me get clear, like coming back to the basics. And from there, I was able to rebuild and I was able to create and get the structures in place. And I was able to have the offers that supported the women. But then as time continued to go on, I realized, okay, I'm still being influenced by other people that I see online, where people are constantly in this go, go, go launch mentality, creating something new and throwing it out this week, creating something new and throwing it out the next week. Like it was this constant just purging of creation and putting things out there and hoping people would buy. I was like, hold on, this doesn't even feel good. Like, why are we doing this? Because we can only teach so many things. So why are we creating 20,000 offers to kind of teach the same thing, but we're just putting a different name on it? I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And so I started to pull back and I recognized and realized that there's actually so much power in just dialing into one offer and letting that be the core signature piece that you are here to give and provide the world with, and just build this ascension model around that so that people could enter into your business at a free or low cost way and go through your ascension model and funnel into your highest spaces where you're serving at your highest capacity in the way that's going to lead to the most transformation. And when I did that and I built that out, then I found this place where it's like, wow, I don't even have to work as many hours because I'm not out here trying to just throw spaghetti at the wall every day and see what people bite at. I just have to show up in the service of what I believe in and the truth of what I'm here to share. And the people that are meant to work with me are undoubtedly going to find me because I am a energetic capacity for them. I'm not repelling them because I don't even know where I'm going or where my focus is. And that's the piece in the part that so many women get caught up in, is seeing what other people are doing, trying to wear that hat and make it fit for them when their head is not the right size for it, and then trying to just create and do too many things when really it's like anchor into the one thing that you are here to do, teach, and help elevate the world with, and watch it then compound. And when you're not focused on trying to hustle to keep up with the Joneses, you realize that all of that time that you were spending working, you were actually distracting yourself and procrastinating on things that didn't actually matter. So I only work on things that actually matter. Like my systems are so built out and refined that it's like, all right, clock in here, check in with this, go ahead, let's post this, let's do this. All right, cool, I'm done. Ease, freedom, playtime with the kids.
I love that so much. And it's something I've been deconditioning this year because now I have containers. And so my shift has moved from mainly one-on-ones to now group, which
Mm.
of course inevitably is going to free up more time. And so I was doing exactly what you know. I was filling the spaces. What else can I do? I can start a blog. I will start writing more emails. And then I was like, wait, no matter if I'm doing not I don't wanna say the bare minimum, but, like, what really, drives me fulfillment, or if I do, like, all the 100 extra things, the clients are still undoubtedly gonna come because I have sold contracts with them. And so as long as I'm moving forward from an intentional heart-led space, that's okay if I work 3 hours a week or a day
Mhm.
or 4 hours a day, and then or some days I work all day and then the next 2 days I don't work.
Yeah.
Because it's really about what you said. I'm gonna bring it back to the beginning, being present and what really is important for you. And like for me, it's joy, it's having fun. And I want to feel purposeful, not just in my business, because that was a big thing I carried over from corporate, which is like, oh, I am only worthy if I am successful and my worth is tied to my business. So even as entrepreneur, it's like, how can I have just my business be a piece of my potency, but I'm still potent in the invisible things I'm doing, like doing the grid work to the South Bay and the ocean. Like no one sees that. No one knows I'm giving of service to the
Yeah.
land out here every day. Like no one knows I'm like, all these like
Yeah.
hidden things. But it's brought so much richness. And like I think the inner gremlin you said, right? Inner critic, it's like it's calmed down. She's like gentle and she's my champion. And she's like, what do you want to do today now? Do I want to go on a walk? Do I want to read a book? Wow, I get to do this?
Yeah.
Wow, life's,
Yeah.
like, pretty good.
Yes, isn't that so cool? Like, when you actually experience that, I'm working on something right now, and I'm calling it and cultivating it as the get to theory. I've started to create this I get to theory because that's always been something that I realized that I would share with people. And then I started to hear my clients click onto it. And then you just said it. It's like, yeah, this is it. When we step out of this space of this have to, I have to do this. I have to do this to make this happen. I have. And we get to step into this place of I get to, the entirety of our service changes and the entirety of our work changes. And we actually start to see how beautiful life is, not from the lens of what we don't have yet, but from the lens of, wow, look at everything that's happening for me, around me right now. It's just so beautiful when we get to step into that state and that place.
I love that so much. So, Shelby, where can everyone find you?
Yes, come hang out with me on Instagram. It's my favorite place just to be. I share the good, the bad, the ugly, like nothing's off limits there. You can find me at the Shelby St. Clair. And I would love if you have obviously gotten to this point and listened to us talk this long, come send me a DM and share like what your biggest takeaway is from everything that me and Dani have talked about. Because the more that we can create conversations like this and talk about things like this in safe spaces, the more that, like you said, Dani, right, we're changing the energy of the world and we're making an impact outside of what we can visually see.
Yeah, I love that so much. Thank you so much, Shelby. It's been just such an honor to co-create this space with you and like bring through this honest, genuine magic. And it's been so beautiful.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It is an absolute honor. I'm so excited for you to enter into mommyhood and do it your way. Like, most importantly, for you to get to do it your way. How beautiful.
Thank you. Until next time.